Thielen.
Aye.
Almanza.
What a beautiful recognition. Aye.
8 aye.
Motion passes.
You don't see this at an Omaha Public School Board meeting very often. Thunderous applause and a standing ovation tonight. Well, the Omaha School Board was tasked with naming the future Omaha North High School Stadium.
Our Andrew Pfeiffer joins us live in the studio now to explain why it took more than a unanimous decision from the community to make this happen. Andrew?
Brian, Jacqueline, despite the overwhelming support in naming the future stadium after Gene Haynes, a principal and teacher at Omaha North High School for over 50 years, the board had to waive a policy that would normally restrict how they choose to name buildings and memorials. Now, the board says situations like these are extremely rare, but nonetheless special. People in the audience were clapping, cheering, crying, and now Haynes' legacy will be carved into the side of the new stadium for generations to come. OPS Vice President Kimra Snipes had a moment to share why the board's decision was so significant.
Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a neighborhoods person. And so this is definitely about a whole lot more than naming a stadium. We are actually honoring someone whose leadership has helped shape generations, right?
The board voted unanimously to waive the policy and rename the stadium. We also heard from Haynes himself tonight.
This is quite an honor, and I will continue to cherish the moments of the Omaha Public Schools, and I feel no ways tired.
The facility will be set to open in the summer of 2027. Now, the total cost of the project is north of $50 million. Reporting live in the studio, Andrew Pfeiffer, First Alert 6.